Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. The so-called Rage on the Red Sea, the rematch between Usyk and Joshua, has been confirmed. So Oleksandr Usyk Anthony Joshua, August 20th in Saudi Arabia, specifically Jeddah. So what we'll do is we'll just scroll down this press release. So there is going to be a press conference in a couple of days in Saudi Arabia, a London event to be scheduled at some point. But Usyk says, "I have a goal. With the help of the Lord, I will complete my mission." Then you have Joshua saying, "What a roller coaster journey, fighting for the heavyweight championship of the world for the 12th consecutive time. I won the belt, unified the division, won another belt, lost the belts, became two-time unified heavyweight champion, and now have a date with history set to become three-time unified heavyweight champion of the world. What an opportunity. Fighting championship level back-to-back has had its pros and cons, but I decide every day to get stronger, to learn from my experiences and grow. A happy fighter is a dangerous fighter, and I'm the happiest and most motivated I have been. Thanks to the organisers, 258 Management, Matchroom Boxing, and all boxing fans across the world, with a special shout out to the Ukrainian fans who have been through a really tough time." So there are some others here quoted. I think what we might do is just we'll get to Eddie Hearn and then move on. Hearn says, "We're thrilled to get one of the biggest heavyweight rematches in boxing history made and give Anthony Joshua the chance to reclaim what he lost in London last September. Everything is on the line for this unified world heavyweight championship bout, and it could not be a bigger contest. We know Oleksandr Usyk is a great fighter, and we saw that last time out, but I know Anthony Joshua is more determined than ever. It was a huge success to host Anthony Joshua's contest with Andy Ruiz Jr. in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in 2019. We're looking towards working with the country again to stage this historic event. So no doubt all eyes on the world will be on this ring come Saturday, August 20th. This is a story of redemption, and the countdown starts now." So I guess no secret which horse Eddie Hearn is backing. But this fight, August 20th in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, the so-called Rage on the Red Sea. Their taglines for these Saudi Arabian fights are terrible. I actually think this might be worse than Clash on the Dunes, but Rage on the Red Sea, yeah, okay, whatever. So it's confirmed now, and it's going to be basically a year since their first fight. They fought in September 2021. Now it's going to be August 2020. So I guess for both guys, no matter who wins, it's probably going to be their only fight in 2022. Which is a massive shame. It's part of that's come down to Usyk had to delay the rematch because of the war in Ukraine, and then also it took a few extra months to get this done. They're originally talking about June or July, and now it's slipped to August. So another year where the top of the heavyweight division is going to be clogged up, and fresh contenders, fresh title challengers denied opportunities. Yay. So anyway, what do I make of this matchup? Well, obviously after the first performance from Oleksandr Usyk, he is a favourite going into this one. Joshua tried to box with the boxer, got outboxed and lost comprehensively. He did have sort of moments of success. He tagged Usyk with some shots. He had one really good round where I think it might have been like round 7, started to get some momentum, but it was just not enough. So he has vowed after that loss to basically throw the boxing out the window and the sweet science, and he said it with more sort of force and a few expletives. Basically, he wants to go to war. So he signaled to us what he intends to do, which is to act like a big man, be aggressive, be dominant, come forward, let his hands go. But with that will come some risk. And Oleksandr Usyk is very adept, a very good counterpuncher. This strategy could play into his hands. As we know, Anthony Joshua does not have a great gas tank. He fights in spurts. He does try to manage his energy reserves. And if he's going to try to sort of empty the tank to get Oleksandr Usyk out of there, and when I say empty the tank, I just mean fight at a higher clip. I don't mean just going all out swinging for the fences in round one. But if he's going to be fighting at a more decent pace than he has historically, that's going to probably be in favor of Oleksandr Usyk, because if Joshua tires and gasses, he could be taken out. So this fight could end up ending inside the distance no matter what. But Joshua, the bigger man, the bigger puncher, he does have a shot in this fight, but obviously Oleksandr Usyk goes in the favourite. I think if Joshua comes with a better game plan, he might have more success, but he could still lose. But saying that too, he has a chance to stop Oleksandr Usyk, who admitted after that first fight, yeah, look, some of the shots did actually hurt. He caught me with some good shots, and it did, put a dent in me. But not so much, obviously, that he was so deterred that he couldn't sort of come forward and implement his game plan. And that's what we've seen in the past from Usyk. Even if he gets caught with some shots, he does have good powers of recovery, or be able to basically just sort of shake them off and keep going. So if Anthony Joshua can't land big and can't land early and often and deter Usyk, it's going to be a long night. But it's a fascinating rematch for those sorts of reasons, because you've had one fighter dropping his trainer, getting a more offensive guy in Robert Garcia and saying, look, I'm going to come forward, I'm going to try to take you out, I'm going to be aggressive, I'm going to turn this thing on its head. It could end up being a massive success or a massive failure. And on the training thing, and I've spoken about this on Patreon a week or two ago, I'm a little confused about who's the boss here, Robert Garcia or Angel Fernandez. Joshua locked in Fernandez as one of his training team some months ago, then's brought in Robert Garcia, but in an interview on IFL TV a couple of weeks back, it was unclear who was actually doing what. Sort of seemed to be a 1A, 1B type situation. Is that going to work? Who's the head guy? Who's going to be the main voice directing traffic? Too many cooks spoil the broth is the old saying. But also, questions about Angel Fernandez. He was a big part of the Joshua camp a year ago when he fought Oleksandr Usyk the first time. He stayed on. What are we going to see different from him? People forget that when Robert McCracken was away at the Olympics, Fernandez was directing traffic and running the camp. And what's going to happen on that defensive end if that is in fact what Fernandez is responsible for? And especially if they're changing style effectively with Joshua, throwing the boxing to one side. I mean, who knows? We could end up getting to the second fight and it ends up being the first fight all over again. Maybe this is some sort of form of bravado to try to fake out Oleksandr Usyk. Who knows? It could end up being a slightly more aggressive Joshua, but the boxing fundamentals stay. That wouldn't surprise me as well either, because often these guys talk big, deliver small, and they try to sort of psych the opponent out to focus on different things as opposed to what they're really going to be bringing. Who knows? Maybe this is some long game in terms of a shift in strategy that's not really going to eventuate, just to sort of throw Usyk off. But I think Oleksandr Usyk, with his hundreds of amateur fights and obviously a unified heavyweight champion, he was a undisputed champion at cruiserweight. He's been there, done that, got the postcard. So he'll be ready for anything. So what do you make of this rematch? Now announced August the 20th. Drop a comment, loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.